Okay, I am not ready to broadcast, but I wanted to get on here before 8:30. I'm listening to CNBC right now. And I'm going to go on to YouTube Live. And I got to turn on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Until tomorrow. Oh, come on. Log in. And we've got our Trend Spider up. Current live stream. Hit the thumbs up button if you would. I was watching some videos last night, and I was told it makes no difference whatsoever, but might as well hit it. And I'm working on getting Active Trader Pro up. Active Trader Pro, properties, window. No, that's OBS. Active Trader Pro. Okay. And we'll go back to Spotify. Listen on Spotify. Morning, Zephin. I hope you weren't greedy, Zephin. There was a 10% run in that one. And why is Active Trader Pro not coming up? There we go. It's moving now. I think because I have OBS up, it's kind of dragging a little bit. And I noticed too, I have to recreate the. Yeah, you guys did well. Kudos. High five, man. I wish I had time to sit there and do that yesterday. With you guys. Here, let's see. Okay, so here's my learning. I should say my lesson for you guys from yesterday. See here? You saw it lost confirmation there. You could have gotten out here. Let me let the dog out real quick. Okay. You can go out there. There you go. Dog has to greet my parents who just came downstairs. But in this chart, you lost confirmation here, okay? There was no confirmation whatsoever. See how it's below that 9-day? That would tell me, hey, I'm going to get out here because you guys bought down here. Now, this first confirmation, you're too early in the day to really get out. But in this one where you see that run and you see that button hook, get out. Because then when it dips down here, you have an opportunity when these green candles start to show up and you've got confirmation over the 9-day, you get back in. Now, when you lose this, you get out as well. And I don't know if that 5-minute candle, it moved pretty freaking quick. But hopefully you guys got out somewhere between 32 and 33. It traded to 33.31. Yeah, that 9% Zephin, kudos, man. That's a genius trade. Where else can you make 9% in a day? I mean, that's crazy. Unless you're trading options. But if you're trading options, you could lose 100%, 80% off of this kind of stuff. So kudos, man. That's great news. I was watching it yesterday while I was. Okay, I don't know what just happened, but the dog's going crazy. I do have some stuff to go over. Let's look at some scans too. Since yesterday was an update, we might have some scans that might show up. I got to start GarageBand as well. Let's do the energy sector. I don't like any of these. That's an interesting one. To go from here. But it's not moving that much. Honestly, that's tiny move. I'm looking at my portfolio. ARC F is way up at 1%. Meta's up 1%. I have an interesting story about Meta. Shop and Snow. Morning, Cooper. Let's go back to brokerage holdings. Let's see if anything. Oh, Pfizer crossed up. We're going to put these on. Pfizer, Snow. Oh, let me put the $sign so I can do. I got to probably get out of here quick today. I've got such a busy fucking day. Tomorrow I leave for Miss America. PFE and Snow. Anybody with TrendSpider, by the way, if you scan the core investments, you can see Pfizer and Snowflake crossed up. Let's look at sectors, if there were any sectors that crossed up. I don't think there are, but let me put this on. Do I have GarageBand open? No, I don't. GarageBand. Let's open up GarageBand. Oh, I got to turn down the. Okay, I turned down. I have to turn down the gain. I did a political podcast last night with Rick. And when I'm on Riverside, which is how we record that podcast, it has to go up. Okay, so no spiders. Let's look at not owned. And then we'll go to Datadog. Snow. Zoom. Oh. God, that's an ugly chart. I don't like the fundamentals. I'm going to put mRNA in there. I'm going to put that in there. RKT. That's an interesting one since it's mortgage. But is the chart worthy of it? No. I'm going to take that out. I'll put it in there, but God, it's such a... Let me see if... DocU is one that I want to look at. DocU is going to gap up, by the way. Let's go. Where am I? OBS. Let's go back to Safari. Or no, let's go to Active Trader Pro because I want to look at DocU. Oh, and there it is. Where is DocU? There were a bunch of earnings last night that we should have been playing, but yeah. It's going to open up at about 48. DocU released earnings, and they actually have good guidance. And by the way, full disclosure, I've never traded in DocU, but I like the business. The problem is it's easily duplicated. So I'm not a big fan of I'm a fan of the product, not the business. So let's get back to scanning. OBS, we'll go back to Safari. And, where is it? Where's my Safari? There it is. What is that? Oh, that's just the desktop. Market scanner. Not owned. We're going to go to ARC funds. Oh, boy. There goes Active Trader Pro. We'll have to restart that. ARC Holdings, all scan. Active Trader Pro. I hate that Active Trader Pro is written on a... by the way, anybody... well, there's only 3 people, but if you logged in, TrendSpider sale is back on. It's not as good as it was Black Friday, but you won't get another Black Friday, but there's another sale that's on. 60% off. I got an email last night that they were turning another sale on. So if you'd like to sign up for it, it's there. into it. Wow, this one has gotten just beaten down. You can see there's resistance there. It just crossed it, but it hasn't covered this gap. I'm going to put Intuit in there. Tax time is coming up. I like Intuit. INTU. Kind. I think this is the Kind. Yeah, this is the next door. Ironic, they have Kind. It's the most vicious place on earth. These are down. Okay, we're going to go to Dow 30 to see if any big ones crossed up. By the way, this is the extent of the research I do for the show. If you're wondering. No Dow 30s. Interesting. Nothing crossed up yesterday. It was a good day, too. NASDAQ 100. I know you got a couple here. Yeah. It was a really good day for NASDAQ. Datadog, man. Skyworks, that's a Apple play. Zoom video. I don't want to do Zoom video, even though it's been beaten down. I think it is a $90 stock, but I just don't trust it. Okay, we're not going to bring any of that up. We've already brought that up. Let's go to the S&P 100, and then I'm going to start the show. November PPI up 7.4 versus 1 year ago. I think futures. November PPI X food and energy up 6.2%. Oof. Yeah. Hotter than expected. God, that sucks. Inflation. PPI, producer price index. That's what it is. Last week was the consumer price index. This is the producer price index. So the cost of actual goods that are made went up. The cost of goods to the consumers have slowed down, but the cost of goods made went up. So we're in for a shit show of a Friday. But my take on it, let me see. Yeah, your high flyers like ARC F was up 1%. It's now down 3%. Your high flyers like your high multiples like ARC and stuff like that. By the way, ironic, and I'll say this on YouTube. There's an ARC Invest advisor who actually reached out to me on my high net worth group. And he and I are kind of in the same situation. He's like, hey, have you ever thought about starting a hedge fund? We're talking in January. So I don't know if he's under a do not compete or something like that, but you could have a daily stock picks hedge fund that you can invest in, an ETF. Okay. Let me make sure Active Trader Pro is up. Let me make sure that OBS is working on Active Trader Pro. Perfect. Nope. Properties. Active Trader Pro. It was looking at DocU. It held that in there. There's Boyle. By the way, Boyle, all the confirmation in the world again. It's up at 33. Something happened in the last 20 minutes or so where it was trading here at 31. Crazy. C7, I was completely wrong. You shouldn't have sold out yesterday. I will advise you if you're trading it today, be careful. I like to take 1 and 2% gains. And don't be afraid to, by the way, if you see it lose confirmation on Boyle, go over to KOLD. And whatever trading platform you're in, there are ways to hotkey buys and things of that sort. Yeah, and Cooper, 100% right. I 100% agree with Motley Fool on that one. The problem is who's going to buy them. Apple has FaceTime. They don't need them. Google has a product. They don't need them. Salesforce has a product. They don't need them. Microsoft has a product. They don't need them. Who buys them? That's the problem. I think they are a good target, but who buys them? I'm trying to get this all set up so that the camera's right and I don't have to move stuff around. Okay. We got a shit show of PPI. I got to put this in my notes. Okay. PPI, cost of, oh God, why is that bouncing like that? Cost of goods made went up. Inflation still sticky. CPI was down, but this gives the Fed reason to keep the gas pedal and the foot on the gas pedal to raise or keep rates higher for longer. Okay. Yeah, TQQ, shit, SQQQ is your play. Am I on? I need to move this, hold on, over here so I can see the corner of this. That might make sense. Motley Fool guys are smarter than I am. It might make sense if Oracle weren't more focused on software versus communications. I worked with Oracle. Not directly, but as a product manager, and we had Oracle databases and stuff using for our systems. And so, listen, I've been out of the workforce for 3 years now. I probably haven't talked to those guys in like 8. But management hasn't changed over there. Larry Ellison is still kind of, the guiding force of Oracle. I wouldn't expect them to get into consumer services. Just wouldn't. And is the price of Zoom, I think when I looked at it, when I saw a chart on it, $60 was kind of the hey, it makes sense to buy here for a company versus building their own platform. But if you can't tell me that Oracle can't build a video platform for cheaper than it could buy Zoom, and Oracle's got a brand name already, they don't need a brand name. Zoom is basically you're buying a brand. It's a verb. So that's my take on it. But and you guys know, by the way, I'll bring that up. Let's bring up Zoom. We'll bring up Zoom as a cross up, and I'll bring that up. Zoom. Who could buy them? From Motley Fool podcast, ORCL. My fave. So here's why I like Oracle, by the way. And Cooper, I don't know if you've been listening long enough to understand, but Oracle is the second largest, I think it's the largest or the second largest buyer of stock that actually retires the stock to make the stock price go up. So here we'll go back and I'll go into strategy tester. There's Zoom, and you're at 72. I think it's 65 or 60 or something was when it really gets interesting to buy. But Oracle is one. I mean, I've been recommending that one. I said down here at 60. It just got you out with a 26% gain. Yeah, Oracle is just Oracle's a good company. They run again. Remember what I say about stocks. Buy stocks that are you use or your company uses that you like and that have good management. And Oracle's got great management. They really do. Okay, let me look at my notes. And where's my GarageBand? There we are. Okay. Oh, let me go over this while I'm on YouTube. For anybody that's new that's listening, and it's 5 people, but if you tune in later, I do a daily podcast. I'm on YouTube Live every day that the market is open if I'm not working. That's most days. My TrendSpider algo recommends stocks through a scanning process. And for TrendSpider subscribers, I do a watch list. And I'll start that up, by the way, in the new year with significantly more watch lists for you guys. Oh, and great. My parents are printing. Active Trader Pro I use from Fidelity to do day trading or shorter time frames. So how do you use my system? You essentially tune into the podcast, listen to the podcast. If you want to tune in on YouTube Live, you're more than welcome to. But if you're listening to the podcast in your car or just kind of at work, just notice the timestamp and then go back to YouTube and look at the charts. If you've got TrendSpider, make a note and just look at the charts yourself. That's the easiest way. TrendSpider for the year. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at TrendSpider. Plans and pricing. So 60% off, 55% off. You need the elite. The elite level is what you want. $351. If you can't make $351 in trading to pay it back, it's a write-off. You know, I go to Kramer's. You don't know what a write-off is. I don't, but do you? I do know what it is, by the way. But this week, you can see up here, this week it's 60% off. That's 60% off the top level service, which I don't recommend for anybody that doesn't do actively full-on day trading. You don't need it. I don't have it. I have the elite level service. I'm completely happy with that. I pay the same amount that you guys do, so that's where I find value in it. But I'll give you access to my algorithm. I've talked to TrendSpider, and hopefully they're going to allow me to share the algorithm directly. But if just reach out to me on the socials if you need it. Next week it goes down to 55%, so this will go to 50%. Then the following week it goes down to 50%, and then 1/2 to 1/8 it'll go down to 45%, which means that Elite is 40% off. So if you want TrendSpider and you want to try it, you can cancel at any time. You can do a 7-day trial without the winter sale offer. You can try it. I'll add it for you. Morning, Justin. But yeah, if you're interested in that, that's essentially what my system is. And anybody that's gotten the TrendSpider package that has my algorithm, you guys know, it just provides a level of comfort when you're trading. And that's what trading's all about, is trying to find the psychology that works for your trading pattern. So, okay, let me see. I need a drink of water. I talk too much. What is funny is I've got this OLED in front of me. And I don't know what it is, but it does seem to throw off some heat. Okay, let's start the podcast. Yeti microphone. Good morning. It's Friday, December 9th, and I am heading out to Miss America tomorrow. So Monday, I may not be on. Next week is going to be hit or miss whether I do podcast or not. I'll probably do very fast ones since I am working. But I'll keep you updated on the socials. So look in the link below the link tree. I have my Instagram. I have my Twitter. I'll update those. Private Facebook group, if you just click on the Facebook icon at the top of the link tree, you can get in there. I'm going to post trades if I do them next week. But first off, I want to congratulate everybody who got into Boyle yesterday. You should have gotten out at least with a 5% gain, if not 10. Again, I've got to do my course. I had a couple of people in the Facebook group say, hey, I don't know when to get in or when to get out. Can you help us? Blah, blah, blah. So I may be one of those douches that starts a course or sells a book. I might do that. That might be something that I do. I still have to start my other fire podcasts, so I'll work on stuff. But the big news in the morning, I should make it like a joke, big news in the morning, but I didn't do a big news in the morning. PPI, Producer Price Index. It's the cost of goods. So you have CPI last week, which is Consumer Price Index, which is the price that consumers pay for goods. The Producer Price Index is the price of the cost of those goods. So whatever goes into those goods or services, it's the cost. And it was up, which up is, good is bad, bad is good. So up means that inflation is sticky, which gives the Fed the ability to keep their foot on the gas pedal, raise rates. So do we think that next week is a 50-point increase or a 75-point increase? Don't know. Could be either. Again, it's Friday. Part of my trading kind of philosophy is Friday, you don't do much. You just kind of watch. If you want to day trade, you absolutely day trade. Today, we were just talking on YouTube Live. I'm 26 minutes in on YouTube Live. And essentially, Boyle is back up. Boyle's flying again. It's natural gas. It's up. Closed at 31. It's at 33. So you've got that one running. If you want to day trade those, day trade them. Boyle, KOLD, SOXL, XOXS. There's an interesting, I put a link, and I will go to it right now on YouTube Live. And it's Direxion.com, Direxion.com. And you can look, they have levered ETFs for single stock directions, bull and bear 3 times ETFs of treasury bonds, bear, bull, international equity, market cap, bull and bear 3 times levered. All of these are a great trading tool for you if you want to do short-term trades. They're levered, SPDN, Direxion Daily S&P 500 Bear 1 times shares. So this is instead of shorting. You essentially just look at, if you think the S&P is going to go down, buy that one. This is common for Google. Direxion 1.5 times direction share. This is the bull. So if you think Google's going to go up, buy this one. If you think it's going to go down, buy GGLS. If you think it's going to go up, GGLL. Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, Apple. I know there's other companies that have NVIDIA and Tesla ETFs like this. So Google it. I just Googled levered ETFs, and I found this. But this is a great list. You can do anything that you want. There's industrial bulls. Look at your sectors. These are your sectors that you can do levered ETFs on. It's a great, great tool. Again, I'll put the link in the description of the podcast and the YouTube if you want to look at it. But again, Friday, you day trade. And by the way, don't hold those stocks for an extended period. They are not actual stocks in the company. You're not owning a portion of the company. These are traded with options behind the scenes in order to lever them 1.5 to 3 times. So you don't get value in the company. So it's not a long-term trade. So one podcast favorite that I wanted to look at, Costco, had earnings yesterday. They weren't as robust as they could be. Guidance was a little bit down. Let's take a look at Active Trader Pro. I'm going to bring my Active Trader Pro a little bit more over here. And let's go into OBS and we'll switch it over to Active Trader Pro. And so Costco live right now. Costco Costco. COST is the symbol. Down at 478, closed at 481. Yesterday's day range was 473 to 483. If we go back to Safari and we look at our algorithm in TrendSpider, it's got no confirmation. The MACD is looking like it's going to change directions at some time. The RSI is at 32. I think, again, I kind of point out this a lot. Costco is a super well-run company. They run off of membership fees, so it's a pretty solid investment. I would say if you can get this under 500, you buy it at 500. There was a gap here between 492 and 500. That's been filled on the way down. So there's no more gaps that I can see in the near term. Let's pull this back a little bit so that we can drag more history on this one. I don't want that. I want to actually shrink that. We're going to collapse our indicator list so we can see more of this. I don't see gaps, but you can clearly see it's been an up and down ride between 430 and 550, which is a great trading stock. The algorithm makes you 50%. Buying and holding Costco makes you 28%. You have 22 positions within those 1,000 candles. You win 36% of the time, and your average win is 11%. This is a great trading stock. I also think it's a great buy and hold stock. I think anything under 500, you could buy and hold a significant position and still be perfectly fine. Because look at this one. If we go long term and we go weekly on this, you've got an ascending triangle on the weekly. It's still in that upward trajectory. It's still got a great management team. It's still got a great platform. I think it's a good stock to hold. On the other side, we had Lululemon come out with weak guidance. Lululemon is in a run right now. The algorithm would have you in. It bought you in. I say under 300, you buy this one. It had you in at 299, ironically, October 17th. They had weak guidance. They will report down. So I'm not going to go into more. I don't buy Lululemon. It's overpriced, but the quality is there. People I know absolutely love Lululemon. Let's just take a look. I'm going to go over to Active Trader Pro. I won't switch the window, but let's see what it's trading at right now. I think it was 2 or 3% down. It's trading at 346. It closed at 374. So you've got a gap here between 324 and 340. My assumption is you're filling that gap, and you're going right back down to the 200. The 200-day is used as support on this one. It's pretty clear it's been used as support, other than maybe the summertime where it just got too expensive, and it was up in this range when it got too expensive, and it just crashed down. So I think you could see this one go back to 300, under 300. So I would trade this one. I like to trade on this one. I wanted to look at some of the mainstays that I've looked at in the past. Since it is Friday, UNH, I said anything under 500, you grab this one. It hasn't been under 500 since July. So I might have to move this one, but it's a super expensive company. If we go over here to FinViz, 26 is the PE, forward PE of 21. It's got a 1.2% dividend. Year to date, it's up 9.12. When the S&P is down like 15% and year to date a stock is up 10%, it's kind of had a good run. So right now the algorithm had you in November 21st at 529. You had all the confirmation, and you still have confirmation. Problem is the RSI is at 60. So I think it's just run too much. But keep an eye on it, because that is a mainstay one that I would suggest buying and holding. Healthcare is a big one. Qualcomm, which I've always said is a great one, just got you out of a 6% gain, got you back in right away, and then it kind of lost all its gain. It still has an ascending triangle, but it's clear that ascending triangle is using the 200-day, which is at 130, and you're trading only at 121. It's using that as a resistance level. So I would say wait on this one for that MACD to cross up again. The RSI is kind of They have their earnings coming up in February, so there's no real catalyst on that one anytime soon. Another one that I love that probably, and we'll look at this one real quick, Cleveland Cliffs is one. Algorithm had you in at 1365. You have another ascending triangle. You're at 1616. I wouldn't buy into this one. The button hook hasn't happened, but it is clear that it's right up against that 200-day. I would suggest, since it's a Friday and we don't know what's going to happen, 1365, if you've got 10% in this one, take a little bit off, take some profits. There's nothing wrong with taking some profits in this one. You can always back in on Monday. Just buy back in, take some profits. But what is it? Pigs get slaughtered, whatever. There were some interesting final trades last night on CNBC. One was Freeport-McMoRan, FCX. I haven't talked about this one in a while because commodities just weren't doing that well. But all of a sudden, since October, it's really been doing well. $29 was the buy-in on the algorithm. Again, if you had TrendSpider and you wanted to look at materials, you don't have to count on me. Look at the algorithm and you can look at it yourself. $29.14 was the buy-in on October 20th. You've had all confirmation, and you've still got confirmation at $38. Problem is the RSI is high, 63. MACD is high. It's over the 200-day. Freeport-McMoRan is a materials company. It's not super expensive. It's kind of the value, but it goes along with, it's 15 PE, forward PE of 23. November 11th, downgrade from Scotiabank, and the price target is 34. You're trading at 39. So I would expect this one to kind of probably move down, but if you're in it, stay in it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that one. The other one that I wanted to look at was Merck, MRK. This is one that has been running and running. September 22nd, you had a buy-in at $87. You're trading at $110 right now. Crazy good run in a crazy good company in a crazy good sector, healthcare. So you're coming up on your ex-dividend date, December 14th. I don't think they have a huge dividend, but it's pretty healthy, 2.63%. This one is up 44% year to date. Its PE is 18, so it's not super expensive, but you can always buy back in. My guess is that you're going to come down to this 50-day at some point in time. Right now, the RSI is at 68. The MACD is way up there. I wouldn't get into this one, but I think if you get in, could get this one anywhere between 93 and I'd say 98, anything under 100. I think you'd be okay with this one because I do think, you look on FinViz, it's at its 52-week high, 0.12, but it's 54% off its 52-week low. So crazy good company, crazy well run. But those two were the final trades that I wanted to go over. For Ignacio on Facebook, he wanted me to comment on puts on Carvana. And my response to him was, I'm not a options trader. And I'm not going to guide you in options. I think options are 100%. If you're an advanced trader, great, use them. If you're a beginner trader, if you have less than, I'd say, $500,000 in your trading account, don't do options. Absolutely do not do options on margin. You're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, and that has a way of blowing up people. And that's why I don't do options. I don't usually trade with $500,000. And I don't talk about one trade. I'm talking about your overall portfolio. Not net worth, but your trading portfolio. But Carvana is going to go bankrupt. It's going to go bankrupt. You do have some upward trajectory. You're still not above that 9-day. The RSI is at 35. I don't know. You're going to have to, Ignacio, you're going to have to look and you're going to have to research what happens on puts if a company goes to zero and pulls their stock off. I don't exactly know. My guess is you get paid out, but Google that one. So Carvana, it's a shit show. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's look at that one. He wanted to comment on that one. Carvana, I'm not even going to comment on the stock because it's a shit show. Bed Bath & Beyond is kind of the same thing. I don't think they're making money. Let me see. Bed Bath & Beyond, no, they're not making money. Carvana is definitely not making money. I don't even have to look on FinViz. September, Bed Bath & Beyond, Odeon. Sell to hold, $7.50 price target. It's trading at $3.34. There's no reason to think it's getting back up to $7. You got a gap up here between 9 and 11, but the 200 days at 8. There's no confirmation whatsoever. The algorithm has you in at 335. You're trading at 334 days later. I can't imagine there's any reason you would want to chance your money in this one. There are so many better and good investments that you could put your money into and potentially make money a year or two down the line. If you're doing Bed Bath & Beyond, I wouldn't hold it more than a day. I'd probably look to Boyle. Boyle's probably a better one. And no, James, you haven't missed REI. I'll put in REI for you. But I can't recommend Bed Bath & Beyond. That's like, my cousin with GameStop. She made a ton of money on GameStop. She bought it somewhere in the like $15 range, and it was up near 50 or 60. And I kept telling her, get out. You got to sell. It's not worth that amount of money. And it kept going in a short squeeze. Went all the way up to 400. She never sold. She thought it was going to continue to go. She never sold. All of a sudden, it's at 200. All of a sudden, it's at 100. At some point in time, you have to understand that the fundamentals of a company actually matter. And even with GameStop, the fundamentals actually matter. So what's BK? Bankruptcy? I think, yeah. If you want to know BK, Bank of New York. I don't know if Ignacio, you want to know that one, but the algorithm has you out. It's got a gap. You're probably dipping below the 200-day. I think Bank of New York, if that's part of what you were asking, because I think you might have been asking about bankruptcy, but if you want to know about the symbol BK, it's a bank, man. There are better banks out there for an opportunity like Bank of America. We talked about it yesterday. I think it's putting in that button hook down there. It's so oversold. Wells Fargo, same kind of thing. So oversold and so quickly. You don't have confirmation to get in yet, but it's getting there. Get TrendSpider, get the algorithm, and you can see it. I mean, it's so clear. And then let's go to my favorite, and we'll avoid the censors. It's Shitty Bank. I love that one. Any South Park fans, and I think Cooper was a South Park fan who pointed it out yesterday, but Shitty Bank. Same thing. Shitty Bank is probably, going under 40. At some point in time, it just lost, it's using that 200 day. Once you get to that 200 day on Shitty Bank, you got to be worried about it. So let's look at REI for James, since he just kind of popped in here. REI, yeah, it's still on that slide. See, it doesn't have the confirmation. This was the gamble, James. Was at that 273, I said, hey, it's 273, but you're below that 9-day and you've got this gap down here. I think you're probably going, based on yesterday's candles and the MACD still going down, it's so oversold. I think you might see this $2.17 in the play today, just in the middle of this candle right here, 217 to 220. If we continue to slide, but hopefully you got out of this one. If you're still in it at some point in time, I think it makes sense because this is a company, again, it's making money. It's an energy company that's making money. It doesn't have a huge PE, but it's making money. August 1st downgraded, $4.99. They took the price to $7.50. Roth Capital, $7. The problem is the oil. Oil's going down to 75. It's still going down. And you want to know about Shell too. Shell's probably the same thing. Yeah. I mean, it got you out with a 0.69% gain yesterday, but you got that ascending triangle. It's still kind of in a bullish run, but you've got this gap down here, and that's above the 200 day. So I think that gap at 55 to 54 it's still in play. Still in play. So between those two, energy is just one of those things that people in power want gas to be cheap. That's how they just want to manipulate it, and they want it to be cheap. The only people that want it to be expensive are the Saudis and OPEC. So they want to make money off of it. Ignacio also wanted to know about the trading desk, TTD. And TTD is great. If you guys don't know about TTD, they are the ones that my parents' friend's son used to be the CFO. He's now the CFO of Expedia, or CEO of Expedia, I believe. But he was talking about this one right before the pandemic in January. And by the way, we'll take you back here. He was telling my parents and everybody in January of 2020, you should be buying the trading desk. We're providing ads on streaming platforms, and it's just a great company. Financially, we're going to be doing really well. Motley Fool picked them up at that point and said, yeah, they're a great company. We're going to, we think they have a big future. By the way, that was here at about $20. Okay. Well, I should say 26 was where we kind of heard about it, and Motley Fool kind of picked it up. It went all the way to 90, and then up here 105. So you had a great run on this one. It's still a semi new platform, but you finally have the 200-day on the weekly. You're using that 200-day as support. Let's go to the algorithm on this one so we can zoom in a little bit to see exactly where we are. Right now, the algorithm has you out. The algorithm loses you 35% over 1,000 candles. Buying and holding loses you 48%. You have 32 positions, 28% are wins. Your average win is 12%. So you can see here, you've got this gap down here between 40 and 43. You're below that 200-day, so I would say that at some point gets filled on the way down. You don't have confirmation right now. The algorithm has you out. So I would say hold off on this one. It's probably not worth the risk. There are better setups than this one, but I think it's just not worth the risk. So Ignacio, thanks for your questions. Thanks for listening. I look forward to more kind of, hey, let's roll the dice and YOLO off of Wall Street bets. Because I think, Ignacio, if I'm not mistaken, you're the typical retail trader who is on the Netflix documentary singing "I Like the Stock." And if you don't know what that is, watch that this weekend. Just look up Wall Street Bets on Netflix and watch "I Like the Stock." And Ignacio, you may be one of those rappers on "I Like the Stock." Another one that he wanted me to go over, Rivian. Rivian, everybody thinks Rivian's going to make them the next Tesla. The Rivian, the valuation is it's too much. It's not going to make it in the next Tesla. It's not going to go up 100%. You want to know the next Tesla? It's Tesla. Tesla's going to continue to grow. Rivian's just not growing as well. They just have a huge, huge backing. They are not making money. They have a price to sales of 25. They are down 72% year to date. Too many people piled into this one. It was overhyped, and it's clinging to that 200-day. It's under the 200-day, but you can see ever since August, late July, it's been clinging there. And it still hasn't filled this gap down here between 28 and 26. So I would say you still have some downside on this one. And I would not go into these risky names with the new year. Just too many other good names to get into. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, some of the oil companies, some of the natural gas companies. I think there's just too many good names out there for you to risk on Rivian, because Rivian, I say this all the time. What your grandmother is cooking on Christmas Eve dinner, that's priced into the market already. There's nothing you can do. It's already priced into the market. So I put in it's funny. So let me see if I can do this, because I'm going to do this. Well, you know what? I'll do it live on, we can do this. Let's look at Tesla. And I think even Mike Santoli on CNBC this morning did this. But if you go and you look at Tesla and you look at the chart on CNBC.com, and this is where I like to do my comparisons, by the way, and you take a look at it and you do a comparison of Amazon and you do a 5-year comparison. Amazon's in green there, and that's the Tesla. So you're up 749% in Tesla. You're up 55% for a 5-year. If you do a 1-year, look at how close Amazon trades to Tesla. So when I talk about Tesla being the next Tesla, it's still got room to grow from a 1-year standpoint. Now, when you go and you look at Tesla's valuation, Tesla PE is 53. Amazon PE is 83. Which one has more room to run? A car company that's growing in China with record sales, or a company that hired too many people, has to let people go, and probably is looking at spending a significant amount more money? In my mind, I think Tesla has the chance to actually be better. And I think it's getting some bad rap now. That 185 we talked about on Tesla, it got you out with a 5% loss. I still say anything in the 160s on this one, I think you start your position at the very least. Taiwan Semiconductor, which I talk about a lot, Buffett just got into this one. It's been way too big of a run. I wouldn't get into it. You're seeing a huge button hook here. It's putting in its platform right above the 200-day. I think anything probably between 75 and 80 would be a good price to get in here. You can see 73 to 77. There's a gap there, and it's not going down to fill that gap just yet. They announced yesterday their November revenues were up, and they reiterated guidance. So, I put that one in. Netflix upgraded by Wells Fargo, price target to 400. Netflix, God, this has been a legendary run on Netflix, by the way, because we've had several wins. You've had a couple of losses here along the way, but down here at 220, if you had bought at 220, and this is what I talk about. When you buy companies that are good companies that are making money, that have an actual business, if you buy Bed Bath & Beyond because they send you a 10% off coupon in the mail, that makes no sense whatsoever. If you buy Netflix because you use Netflix, and because Netflix is launching an ad tier, because Netflix is launching a gaming service, because Netflix has management that actually has shown to provide a business, and they have a service that you use and you like, it's a different kind of stock. But you can see here, there's gaps all over the place. This gap here between 242 and 253, that scares the fuck out of me. But at 400, you're going back here. This is what I was talking about with the 400 price target. And we've talked about this before. Oh, come on. I'm going to move this. My trackpad sometimes doesn't like me. But yeah, there's a gap here up to 350. You're trading at 310 right now. They have a $400 price target on Netflix. I think you probably could take your chances. Anything under 300, if the market gets nailed and Netflix goes under 300, I think you start your position there. I think I'll start my position there, I should say. DocuSign, we went over. Lulu, we went over. Activision Blizzard, Microsoft. The FTC is suing Microsoft to block this deal. Microsoft came out yesterday and said, we will fight this one. You can see yesterday's candle was crazy. Yesterday's afternoon candle. Open was 73. Let me see. Open was 75. I'm sorry. High was 75.14. Low 73. Close 74.77. So it's a big candle, a 0.44% move. You can see how big that candle is. Look at the volume. The MACD is crossing down. It doesn't look like this is going to get you out probably at about 74. It's using that 200-day as a resistance level. The market is pricing in that this deal does not get done. The deal is at $95 a share. This could, drag on for years. Microsoft's going to fight it. They really want the company. The breakup fee is enormous. Doesn't hurt Microsoft all that much if the FTC gets it done. You can see Microsoft just has gaps all the way, but you've got this ascending triangle, 228. But you do have this gap down here between 228 and 234. And you're using the 200-day as resistance level. So I don't know that I'd necessarily get into Microsoft, but Microsoft is one that I absolutely 100% should be in your long-term portfolio. It's too ingrained in our society. And by the way, if I put out this on TrendSpider, on Twitter and stuff, if you think that you have some bad stocks where you bought into and you can't, get out of them and you've been holding on to them and things of that sort, Meta spent $45 billion on stock buybacks last year at an average price of $330. The stock today is worth $115. So $45 billion on stock buyback. So if you don't think that this company is going back to 300, if Zuckerberg doesn't have 300 as a price target, you're crazy. Doesn't mean that you buy in right now because there is gaps down here around 94. I would say anything under 100. I've been saying shit. I think ever since I think my price target initially on this was anything under 200 should be a buy. But recently you have had some good gains on this one. That $95 price target, you're up at 115. Your RSI is down at 51. It's kind of in no man's land. The MACD is kind of crossing down. I would expect it to cover under 100, but I would definitely add to your position under 100. Again, TrendSpider sale is on. 60% off the advanced is 55% off elite. Link is in the description. Guys, when I'm off next week, you guys should be doing your scans. You guys should be looking at your stocks. I'm no genius. It's TrendSpider that makes me good. I'll share my algorithm with you. Again, it's $350 for the year. If I can't make you if my algorithm can't make you $350, look at what we did with Boyle yesterday. And let's take a look at Boyle in the algorithm. Did Boyle cross up? Because James is asking, am I getting into Boyle again today? I didn't get into it yesterday, full disclosure. Look, James, it's covering that gap. So I think it hit. That's why I said yesterday I thought it was going to hit 35. It didn't hit 35. Today it'll hit 35. Let's see. Let's look at Boyle. I'm switching over to Active Trader Pro, but not on the screen. Yeah, it's at 34.34. It's covering that gap today. It'll hit 35. It's going to cover that gap, and then it's going to go up to the 200-day at 40. Look at the volume. The volume's increasing. The MACD's about to cross up. So am I getting in? I might. But again, I would sell it before the end of the day. I'm not holding it through the weekend. I don't care if it makes 1%. I don't care if it makes 2%. I don't care. The risk is just not there. If you make 1 or 2% in this market, don't hold it over the weekend. Shit. Putin might come out and say, you know what? We're doing peace talks and we're going to provide energy back to Europe through Nord Stream pipeline. You're stuck with holding Boyle, which is going to be worthless at that point if that comes out. Let's look at some scans. Pfizer, PFE. We had a cross-up. I think this is a secondary cross-up on a current run. Yep. 43.09 was the buy-in on October 13th. Pfizer, you still got confirmation at 51. I wouldn't add to it. Wouldn't buy it. The RSI is at 66. MACD is way too high, but secondary cross-up. Snowflake, we finally have a buy in Snowflake at 142.91. There is still gap down here at 127. This one will probably use the 200-day as its support, but you're over the 9-day. So that 142.91 I may add to my position. It seems like it's a positive one. It is down 141.40. It's down 1% in pre-market. It was up in pre-market up until the PPI. So PayPal, we had a cross-up. I think this one is 74.19. It's an initial cross-up, but look at the losses. You lose 46% on PayPal in the algorithm. You lose 64% buying and holding. 29 positions. You win 31% of the time, 8% average win. So I hold this at a much higher price. But again, it's Friday. I wouldn't put money in. One that has been running, and I said I didn't think it could run, but it has, is Moderna. At the end of the year, the U.S. and the large G7, they will stop funding COVID vaccines at a large amount. And Moderna is a one-trick pony right now. They have several in the pipeline, additional vaccines. But right now it's a one-trick pony. This is a $400 stock that has come down. That October 3rd, 26th, 136 was the buy-in. It just got you out with a 26% gain. But then it gets you right back in at 184. So the MACD kind of came down through that, but it put in a pretty good shelf here. I would say the 200-day is probably more like a support. But God, this stock has just been, it's been a monster. Here, buying in the algorithm, buying and selling in the algorithm makes you 108% over 1,000 candles. If you just bought and held, you would have made only 14%. You have 28 positions. You win 42% of the time, and your average win is 20%. So I'm not saying to buy up here because the last time we were up in this area was August, and you can see it went right down to 134, and you lost a couple of times. That was part of your, 58% losses. So I would say it's a little too rich for my blood, and I'd probably wait for it to come down to this 200 because what we've seen is that thing comes down to the 200. Rocket Mortgage. I am not saying buy Rocket Mortgage. RKT. This one has an ascending triangle. It's a secondary cross-up. The actual initial buy was November 10th at $7.08. It's high. I just bring it up because TrendSpider puts in that ascending triangle. It's just above the 200-day, and it's got some confirmation. If you like mortgages, I don't know who would be crazy enough to buy into a housing market like we have today on a Friday. That'd be freaking nuts. One I do like is Intuit. My father owns Intuit. It just broke the 200-day, and so it's below the 200-day, $403.46. It's trading at $405. This one, the algorithm loses you 13% versus buying and holding actually makes you 12%. 32 positions, you win 25% of the time. Your average win is 10%. So it seems like it's a pretty good trading stock. You do have your dividend X date, January 9th. The RSI is a little bit high on this one. It has been putting in pretty much a capitulation between, I'd say, about 436 and about 350. I'd probably like to see you under 400 in this one, but the algorithm did give you a buy-in at 405. Zoom. This is one we talked a little bit about on YouTube earlier. But Zoom is one, it got you a buy-in here at 72. Now, somebody brought up, I think it was James or somebody, might have been, it was Cooper. On a Motley Fool podcast, Zoom is one that might be good for a takeover. They have tons and tons of cash. It's a video platform. Zoom became a verb, and unfortunately, they're a one-trick pony. So their probably only value is in buying it. But who's going to buy it? Not Apple, not Google, not Amazon. Oracle was the one that Motley Fool came up with that could buy it. I would rather see you put your money in Oracle than Zoom. And the reason I'd rather see you put your money in Oracle than Zoom is based on fundamentals. And Oracle has a 38 PE. Zoom has a 32. Okay? But what Oracle does is they buy back a ton of stock. And I've gone over this before for longtime folks. The buy-in on Oracle, October 3rd, 62, you just got you out with a 26% gain. I don't know that I'd necessarily get out right before their earnings because I think on December 12th, they're going to announce another buyback. And I think you'll see, probably good earnings on this one. Now, the last earnings were disappointing. They went all the way from 75 down to 62. But I think this is an opportunity. And yeah, James points out Teams is so much better. Not only is Teams better, I don't think it's better. I think it's just a different platform. But here's what you have with Microsoft. If you buy a Microsoft license, you get Teams for free. Why is somebody paying extra money for Zoom. Whereas if who's not paying for a license on Microsoft? Unless you're an Apple, customer. Who's not, if you've got Salesforce, you've got what I think they own Slack. I forget what they own. But yeah, so it's all kind of poised in there. So, okay, remember TrendSpider is on sale. I might keep this to 40 minutes. TrendSpider's on sale. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tipping. I appreciate everything. The links are in the description. If you sign up for TrendSpider, just be sure to send me a message. Hit me up in the Facebook private group. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up anywhere. You can even leave a message on one of the chat things. I think, other thing, if you've listened this far, leave a review. Hit me up on 5 stars on Spotify if you're listening there. If you're listening on Apple, go down to library, find my show, and then just scroll down and hit 5 stars. You can hit 5 stars and type in a review. Did I make you money? Did I lose you money? If I lost you money, don't leave a review. Most likely I made you money. Most people do. But yeah, just leave a review. I mean, that's better than tipping at this point. And if you're listening on YouTube Live, or you zoom over to YouTube Live, just hit the subscribe button. I got to hit 1,000 subscribers within a year, I just found out. So it's not a huge deal. I'm not going to make a ton of money off of that one. And my course is coming out. I always joke. I mean, I'm going to feel bad if I actually do put out a course, but it'll probably just be a little book. Probably nothing more than 40 pages with the strategy that I use, teaching you guys kind of what the confirmation stuff is, what the validation is, and all of that stuff so that you guys can day trade. So if you have any questions, hit me up, though. I'm always here. And don't be shy. I mean, I have thousands of podcast listeners. Nobody reaches out. Join the Facebook group. Like Zephan was in there yesterday pointing out about Boyle. It was great. I mean, I mocked everybody in the group. So have a great weekend, everybody. I may talk to you next week. Hopefully I will. If not, I'll put out a short little podcast. I may not do YouTube Live, but I'll definitely be putting out a short little podcast with some scans. Sign up for TrendSpider. I'm telling you, if you can't make $350 in a year off the algorithm, you're crazy. You're nuts. I mean, it does so much good. So, okay, take care. Okay, share, export song to disk. Export. Boy, I always think that I go long-winded. Al, I will put out a picture book for you. Al, I tell you what, if I do write a book of my trading strategy, those 40 pages, I guarantee you, probably 30 pages, that's going to be freaking charts. See, and part of what I think a lot of people don't understand is you can go and pay for like Ricky's system or Zip Trader Charlie's system and stuff like that. And they have probably flashier things. My system's simple. And if you listen enough on the podcast, I'm not going to go over it specifically, but shit, I outline it for free. The only thing that the book's going to do is put it into a condensed format so that you don't have to listen to hours of me rambling and telling people, what up? So, let me put this in. I'm where's that link? Do this. Copy link. I'm going to put this in for you guys. And I'm going to pin that. Pin. That's the link to the levered ETFs that I talked about. Oh, man. You're going to make me do that? Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. There it is. Hold on. Ooh, who's calling me? Oh, Apple's calling me. Apple left me a message. Woohoo! My laptop's done. Oh, hold on one second. I gotta listen to this. Is ready to be picked up. Okay, I'll pick that up today. By the way, I didn't tell the Apple story. I need to tell you. Hey, Hung. So, yeah, Al, go into the link tree down below. In the description, there's a it says all other links in the description of this. If you go to that, it's a link tree. And then in the link tree, there is a Facebook icon right under my gorgeous shining picture. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I don't even know. That's Twitch. And then is that Twitch? Yeah, that's Twitch. And then there's Spotify. And then there's Apple Podcast. And then there's $. What is $? Oh, that's my Venmo. Woohoo! I don't even know. Is my Venmo public? Let me see. I need to make mine private. Yeah, I'm going to say. Change anyway. I'm going to make it private. I don't need you guys knowing who tips me and the amount and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, Costco's, I'm telling you, James, Costco's going to go down. So let me quit GarageBand. Save. My mom and dad are going off about something. Al, man, hold on. I'm going to go in there and I'll approve you. I think you just answered the damn question, Al. But I can approve you too. Hey, we got a bunch of new members. Let me see. Groups. Manage. Let's see. I don't have a pending member request, so you might be in there already, Al. If you answered the question, you're already in there. Now, if you answered the question as to who hosts the podcast and you answered Jim Cramer, I have to approve you. And usually I do just approve everybody. But we got a bunch of new members. Welcome. So let's go over to Boyle. Am I getting into Boyle today? Boy, that run, I'm telling you, look at that. God, that's good. Sweet. Thanks, Al. Am I getting into Boyle today, Hung? No. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't get into Boyle today. Boyle is one that I will not hold over the weekend, and I am so busy today, I don't have time to watch the chart. So if I were to get into Boyle, I would probably put a significant tight stop loss with a very tight gain, and I don't think that it's worth it for me today. But it's already up 10%. So there is a gap there on the algorithm at about 35. I think 35 is your top today. It's already hit 35.11. So my guess is that if I were trading today, just because of that current run, I'd probably go to KOLD. But remember, you've got to have confirmation above this 9-day. Yeah, here's the one thing I do know about Hung and James and everybody who's listening. just be patient, man. There's no reason to jump into these things. No reason to jump into this stuff. I'd rather miss the first 10% and get the second 10% than to lose 5% on everything. I got to change the... okay, let me start uploading this real quick. I don't know if you heard it, but man, my stomach is rumbling. I'm pretty sure you could hear it. If you go back and listen to the podcast, you can probably hear it. Desktop, there we go. Upload, insert, add. We're just going with P-Coat. And I've got to go because I've got to help a friend today. I've got to pack, and I've got to get ready for Miss America. WFC is a good one. Let me see. What made you get in there, James? Let's see. Your 10-day volume's at 20 million. Your 90 days at 16, so it's got some volume to it. 52-week high of $60, 52-week low of $36. I don't think it's a bad move. Let me look at I will tell you from the algorithm standpoint, you probably got in. You're trying to time it a little, but I don't think that's a horrible thing because that MACD does look like it's moving. Yeah. But again, James, I'll caution you, man. It's fucking Friday. fucking Friday. I got to watch my language sometimes too. Yeah, you do have to worry. Remember, just because the stock was trading at a certain price doesn't mean it always go to that price again. But the fundamentals do warrant. Let me see. Their book value is $41.13. So they're trading right around there. I don't think you'll get hurt. I think this is the difference between buying something like Bed Bath & Beyond or Carvana or things of that sort. I think Wells Fargo is a well-run company. I think you've got an opportunity in here. So, processing. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a good opportunity. Hey, I'm going to be right back. Mom says hi.
Have a wonderful day.
I'm closing the door. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Hung, 2 full-time jobs. Oof. Man, kudos to you. But you look young, Hung. You got energy. When you get old like me, Hung, you can't have 2 full-time jobs. Hung, do you have TrendSpider? You don't have TrendSpider. Okay, TW. Here, Hung. Let me know if you can see this. Let me see. I don't know if you need TrendSpider to see this or not. Let me put this in the chat window. And Hung, since I don't try and sell anything or anything, I'm not in this to make money. Hit me up on a social network and I'll send you the list. It's a short list. It's not much. But I will tell you the actual list. There's some good earnings in there today. Tesla's up 3%. Snowflake's up 2%. Shopify's up 2%. Roblox is up 1%. Remember Roblox, man? At 31.50, you're still in that trade. LU added a stock. LU. Lufax. That's a crazy good one. That's a crazy good one. I think that's the one that's not making money, though. Hung, if you can't see that link or the stocks within that link, that thing, let me know. Just hit me up on the socials, and at some point, I got to get going, though. I got to leave here at about 10 o'clock, and I haven't showered yet. What am I going to title this one? PPI killed the market. Let's do, you know what? I'm going to name it Boyle trade yesterday made folks 10%. Market update 12/9/22. I didn't tell my Apple story. I need to tell my Apple story at some point in time because it was awesome. I mean, I got to tell you, I was so happy yesterday. We're going to put that in there. I don't know why it puts all these fucking spaces in there. Okay. We're going to go up here. Copy. Paste. We're going to go here. And we're going to put this. Then we're going to do our scans. TrendSpider. Boom, boom. I put that in there. Oil prices are going to go up, man. You got to fill the emergency reserves. You got OPEC cutting. I'm telling you, man, it's just totally did a pretty good chart this morning about how oil prices we're gonna I'm gonna put this in. Sale on TrendSpider ending soon. We're gonna say sign up for Webuild, support the podcast here, PPI of goods. We're going to put in cost. We're going to put in Lulu, UNH. We're going to put in FCX, Merck, calls, TDT, bankruptcy, RIVN. What's Carvana's symbol? CVNA. CVNA. TSM revenue. I put in and I didn't go over it. Netflix, man. LVS and Win were upgraded. DocU. Lulu lowered on guidance. SOXL, SOXS. We're going to put in Boyle up early. KOLD might be the play for today. That's serious, by the way. I think with Boyle up so much early, I think you could see that move. Okay. We're going to take this. We're going to put in, copy this. Copy. And we'll publish now. Hide. And then we're going to hide user on this channel. Do 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 do. By the way, Mom was in here and I said, "You're on YouTube Live, you know." She was like, "That's horrible." While I was recording Rick's podcast. By the way, later today, I know some listeners look at it, and you guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I should turn it up to see if you can hear me. Yeah. But I recorded a political podcast with Rick last night, Election Insider, with Richard Barron is the podcast. If you want to listen to it, I tell the story about my absentee ballot and why I'm pissed at the Georgia Republicans for what they did to the runoff election. First off, runoffs shouldn't happen. The leader in that election should just get the senator. And I don't know, I think it was Warnock won the actual popular vote in the initial election, but it was significantly much closer. The runoff just favors, just kind of entrenches the two-party system, which I hate. Netflix. I love that Netflix one. We're going to put that in. I think I talk too much sometimes. All my friends tell me I do. Lulu. We've got Lulu up there, so I don't need that. Microsoft. And I do think Boyle is the play. Well, Boyle was the play. Okay, and we're going to cut out the scans. X SPY. We'll cut out this period. Tweet. We'll close that down. Another Twitter. Rio Tinto, man, that brings back trigger memories. Yeah, I'll comment. I'll do Rio Tinto, and then I'm gonna get going since I do have to go. Let me see if she texted me back. My friend who I'm going to meet, she just texted. She's like, I'm overwhelmed. You're going to need to call me for details. Okay, hold on one second. Let me get this. And I'm going to put in some. Okay. TQQQ, SQQQ. TQQQ, by the way, is the play, I think, if you're buying on a Friday. Tesla, Amazon, Neo, mRNA. Oh, mRNA is in there. MRIN, AMD, QQQ, LabU, NVIDIA, XPEV, Apple, Billy. I like Billy. SOXS is in there already. Veil. CS. LIIQ. Volume movers. Let's see what this comes up with. MRIN is in there already. BXRX, GROM, UPH, AC. Okay, we're going to just do that. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to do most actives. I'm going to move this to boil. Boyle hit that 35, like I said, in that gap, and boom, it moved down. Okay, let me get out of here real quick. Let me just make sure Anchor doesn't have By the way, if you haven't signed up for Webull, there's a link down there too. Let me tell you what I got. I put $100 in. This is crazy. Well, I should say I put $1,000 in. I didn't trade PG. Huh. Interesting. History. Let me see. Assets. Where is, let's see. My rewards. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So when I funded Webull, I got Apple, Kraft Heinz, KHC, another share of Apple, 2 Procter & Gamble's, and Gap. Those are the stocks that I got. I put $1,000 in. And so, crazy. I should post. You guys can follow me on here too. I'll do a new post. Select from album. No. I don't even know how to freaking do posts. Oh, well. We'll figure it out later. I like Webull, though. Okay, let me go to Rio Tinto. Let me go back to here, and we'll go over to Safari, and then we'll go to Rio. So here's what I know about Rio Tinto. They had a sexual harassment lawsuit, and we'll kind of look at that one. But commodities were beaten up, and it's just gone crazy since they got beaten up. But this is a long time if you go back and listen to podcasts that I had. Probably back in this neighborhood around September, August. I was talking about it. I kind of gave up on it because... let's see, domestic violence, prevent domestic and family violence in Canada. Acknowledges government's response to Jukin Gorge Resort. I think it was down in South America or something. Rio Tinto's proved successful. It must have been, let me see, it was the sexual harassment stuff. Was it October? Must have been before even September that I was kind of going over it. But as you can see, 11 best commodity stocks to invest in. It's not a bad stock to invest in. The PE is 6.61. Earnings per share this year are expected to go up 115%. They haven't given guidance for next year. 5 years, it's expected to go down. But it's got a 9.53% dividend. Year to date, you're up 8.12%. You're not coming up on next dividend date. Let me pull this back to here, and we can look at the volume. The problem that you have with Rio Tinto right now is that the volume shelf isn't there. You've got a volume shelf here at 61. That would be where I would expect this to come back to, because you have a pretty good gap right here at 61 to 62 and a gap at 65 to 66. And see those volume shelves right there? Your RSI is at 80. I don't think there's any way you get into this, especially on a Friday. But that's just me. And remember where I said, hey, Roblox at 3150 is good. And then it went down. And then it got up here, 32. It's at 32. I think you can still buy into this one, because I think that 200 day at 39 is probably more of a magnet with the MACD way down here. The problem is, if we go into a recession and people are scared and blah, 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 you've got that. Okay. Indices check. Let's see. Where am I up? Or am I down? I'm down, flat, 0.05. After 11. I'll call after 11. Okay. Any other questions before I sign off here? Thanks, you guys, for hanging out and listening. I'm going to go over here, and I've got to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, because I think I have to library. Yesterday's live. Let's go to do YouTube Studio. I don't think the thumbnail uploaded for yesterday. So we're going to details. We're going to upload a thumbnail. I think that'll do. We're going to upload that. We're going to put that in podcasts. Done. We're going to add some tags. Stock, boil, natural gas, nat gas, futures, trading, how to trade stocks, daily stock picks, daily stock, stock market, how to make money, money, finance, anything else? What else can I do? Tesla. Popular YouTube shorts, SPY, S&P, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, QQQ, TQQQ, KOLD, oil, energy, hold it, Eric. Let me go back and look. Did you get into that based on me recommending it months ago? I think you hold it. Let me go back. I'll show you. So knowing that you're in it, I wouldn't get into it, but here. So that green one is the 9-day. And so while you're up here at the upper end of the Bollinger Band on that 9 and above the 9-day, you still got confirmation. I would say your stop loss, if you're trying to put a stop loss in for, I would say if it hits 70, get out. If it comes down to 70, it's not super expensive. Just that RSI, it's got to come down at some point. But see, here's a pretty good indicator. So you can see from November 11th where it gapped up there, all the way through here. The MACD, the moving averages are not really moving that much in the MACD. Yet the stock is moving from 62 to 72. So, and the RSI is kind of staying. The buyers are just hanging around. Devon, man, don't tell me it's close to 60. Yeah, it's losing all confirmation there. The dividend came out of it too, James. So 61.77. Boyle's losing its confirmation. I think 35 is going to be your top today. I think a lot of people over the weekend just won't hold it. Moderna's underperforming. Look at that stock. It's lost everything. Type play. You're kind of even on TQQQ. Tesla. Oh, I'm not even showing. I was looking at Tesla. See, it's got confirmation now. I looked at TQQQ, which it's got confirmation to run. It's above the 9-day. That's TQQQ. Moderna is the one where I said, wow, look at that stock. It's just down. You got 3 million shares trading in 10 days, 90-day volumes 4 million. So nobody's really trading it. I mean, it's just been a play. Boyle. And here's Boyle. Kind of putting in a shelf up here between 34.63 and 34.87. So, okay. Did I upload this video details, save? Oh, I have to put recording date yesterday. There we go. Save changes. Sort by top. We'll go back to channel content. There we go. I think I'm going to change my picture once a week. I'm live right now. Let me see. View live in control room. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, that's ugly. I don't want to do that. Oh, look at that. Chat rate 0. Views 37. Concurrent viewers 11. 37 people have tuned into the live. Average view duration 21 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I think Sabuj is right. I think Eric Sabuj is right. I don't think you take profits right now. You could take profits on. Let's go back to. I'll show you. Rio. And remember, Sabuj, my system, my algorithm is based on 4 hours. So this candle isn't even done and it's outside the Bollinger Bands. I don't want to say take profits just because, once it gets under that 9-day, I'd rather wait for the run for it to lose it. Hey, Amit. Hey, I'll look at Neo. And then I got to get going. You guys are sucking me in here. So here's the algorithm on Neo. 1051 was the buy-in. You're at 1303. Here's, let me expand this so you can see it. See, the MACD kind of comes in here and then it kind of bounces off. But the RSI is at 60. I wouldn't get into this one. I think at best you're coming up here to the 200 day at 15, but most likely you're coming back to this 11 to 10, the gap that's there. That would be my guess. The volume's just not there to tell me. We can take a look at the live one. I think Boyle's, if you're looking for a short term, just for like a 1 or 2%, I think KOLD's got that support right there. The problem that you have is Boyle has been beaten up so much. I don't know the KOLD has the buyers to actually support it. So I don't know that you're getting from the 16 range back to the 17 range today. It's at 1608. I think you're more likely to go if it hits a 15 handle. Again, remember the handle's, as crazy as it sounds, it does provide a magnet, if you will. So okay, with that, I am done. Sabuj, thank you for joining. By the way, I think you were the one that pointed out Nail, the ETF. Thanks for joining, Amit. Thanks for joining Hung. Hung's got two full-time jobs, so him joining is a huge honor. Eric, thank you for joining. William, thank you for joining, if you're still around. I know James and Zephan are still here, and Al is probably still hanging out too. But I like when you guys chat. MRIN, yeah. I don't know, man. You're Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it looks like a short squeeze. I don't know that it's a pump and dump. 3.34% short. Let me see this. I think you can see when I pull this up. One of Friday morning's biggest winners, the provider of cloud-based ad management software, won a partnership with Walmart's Connect service. I don't think it's a pump and dump. It might be. But shit, you got confirmation above there to right now, above that 9-day. I mean, this is one. I don't know that it's a pump and dump, MRIN. Let's see. It's a cloud-based stock, man. This is going to be worthless. Well, I shouldn't say that. Take a look at the long term. Ironically, we're out. It's going to get you back in on this candle because that MACD is going to cross up. But the RSI is just going to be too freaking strong. But take a look. I mean, I can't even fit it. It crashes so much over this short period. I can't even fit it in. That's what's crazy. Let's shrink it up. Look at that. I mean, this chart is nuts. It's a $1.70 stock that hypes up to 15. I mean, if that's not retail trading, I don't know what is. This is all retail traders, though, Sabuj. I mean, there's nothing that tells me that this company is worth what it's actually being traded for. Let's go in FinViz. They've got a contract with Walmart, MRIN. They're not making money. They're down 69% year to date. Their 52-week range is $1.10 to $5.60. So, joins Walmart Connect's platform partner program. I wanted to see if Walmart. If you guys make like you did yesterday, man, I expect those tips to come in. And I don't want tips if you guys, by the way, make like $10 or something. Don't tip me. Wow. I thought KOLD didn't have the buyers. It does. Kudos, man. If you got into KOLD, it does have the confirmation right now. It's above that 9-day. It's below the VWAP. Looks like a good setup. Although, look at the volume. The volume is still there at 1610 to 1629. Until you see this volume chart start to expand, my guess is that this volume chart needs to expand for it to continue. Otherwise, you're just hitting up against this range. But you can see volume is starting to show up. It's just losing. This is why, by the way, if you're actually trading this and you have multiple monitors, you should have KOLD and Boyle up against each other. I think I can do, hold on. Let's see. We're going to do this. Layouts. I'm going to take you off of this, actually, because I don't want sensitive information being shown like IMAC 2 charts. Let's take a look. it's significantly slower for me when I run Active Trader Pro with 2 charts. Because of the Windows shell, it just doesn't work very well. But you do want 2 charts, and multiple monitors helps, because then you can play KOLD off of Boyle, and you can watch both charts at the same time. And it is not coming up very quickly. Sabuj, Marin, M-R-I-N, I don't think it's a pump and dump. I think they're getting hyped on the news. And I think that's it. Oh, an Active Trader Pro froze. I think it froze. My computer didn't freeze. My computer's still working. But Active Trader Pro just came to a halt. Let me see, force quit. It doesn't say that it's not responding. Let me see. Services settings. There's all the hotkeys. I can move this to iPad Pro. Wow. I can move this shit over there. Yeah, we're going to have to quit. Okay, with that, I'm done. Force quit. Getting out of Active Trader Pro. And I've uploaded that, so I'm good. Okay. You guys have fun with KOLD, and you guys know what you're doing. You made 10% yesterday. And Sabuj, I would not buy into MRIN. I would probably, if you want to, I mean, you can play that one. It's got all the volatility in the world. I think that's a decent one if you want. Just don't buy and hold over the weekend. And Eric, I'd hold on. Unlike Sabuj, I wouldn't take profits on Rio Tinto. It's already up. I think it's at 72. It was at 71 when we were looking at it. I think commodities are going a little higher. So, okay. With that, I am out, folks. Have a good weekend. I will be here probably talking with you on Monday from Connecticut, Miss America. I won't be singing at the pageant, but I'll be there. Now, James, I'm not looking at Wells Fargo. I don't have Active Trader Pro up. Wells Fargo didn't get a cross up. There's no way it got a cross up. You sucked me back in, man. No, see, it's got this ascending triangle, which is good. It's a good, but it ain't crossing up. It's going to, but it moves too slow. I love BAC and Wells Fargo. I think both of those are, if you play options, man, these have good good opportunities to get into some options at 44 for Wells Fargo and Bank of America. I think you play that off the 200 at 34 as well. I think that's a great play. Yeah, pageant moms, man. High five. Talk to you guys soon.